live idea. Not check for discussion. Okay, so today is day 9 and the previous year question of 2023. See, the first question what today we are discussing, what they had asked for 10 marks that you have to write in 150 words, is a vast comment on decline of political theory. So it's a straightforward, simple question. So here what you will have to do is that, if you logically think, introduction. What will you write? What is the introduction you are going to write? One, you have to define what is political theory. So you can say political theory is the systematic study or understanding of political phenomenon, that is called as political theory. Then you can say political theory saw two declines. So then you write about, because it's a 10 marker, you can't explain it. First decline was largely in 1930s and 1940s. Why? Because people like David Easton, they criticized the traditional approach, saying that what he said, why live parasitically on age old ideas, right? And he told traditional approach was largely based on values, hence he told every scholar gave his perspective rather than anything giving scientific, and that is why he argued that what the subject has lost to other subjects like sociology, psychology, which are bringing more scientific developments in them. But however, and this led to what you can say, this led to the rise of behavioralism. But however, by 1960s and 70s, what happened? Second decline happened. Now who blamed the second decline? Now behavioralists were blamed for the decline. Why? Trying to make the subject equivalent to what? Natural science. What Leo Strauss, he brought an argument, you can say, the subject has lost its ability to distinguish between clean and dirty water. They are only focusing on what? Facts, and not providing theories which are socially relevant. So even David Easton himself told, why to sit in ivory towers, and that is how you can say this led to rise of post behavioralism. With the rise of post behavioralism, this ended the fact value dichotomy, and that is what now they understood. What this Andrew Acker, you can use his quote in your conclusion, that Andrew Acker, what did he say? Andrew Acker, he said, every political theorist is partly a scientist or partly a philosopher and partly a scientist. Be scientist. This much if you write, more than enough for a 10 marker, 150 words. Second question, what was asked in 2023 was a quote of Hobbes, or what Hobbes said, state of nature is state of war. State of nature is state of war. And they would go on Hobbes comment. This was again asked for 10 marks. You have to write your answer within 150 words. So again, if you see, it's an easy question, not very difficult, but you have to know how to structure your answer. So you can speak about Hobbes' introduction, considered as one of the greatest English political scholar, in his book Leviathan, he spoke about social contract foundations to the state. Then you can say, according to Hobbes, in that regard, state of nature, I have to tell now what is state of nature. It refers to a situation where people were living without state or without established authority. Then you will write, so what does he say about state of nature? He say it is state of war where there is security, dilemma, where everybody is in war against everybody else. And here he says that it represents a system of might is right. Then you have to tell why this is happening, because according to Hobbes, this is linked to human nature. For Hobbes, he had a very pessimistic aspect of human nature. He believed that humans were selfish, egoistic, and materialistic, and all humans were guided by two sovereign masters, that is pleasure and pain. But now, before concluding your answer, however, when we compare with Locke, who completely presented or depicted a different state of nature which was more peaceful, where there was cooperation, largely because he had a different perception of human nature. Hence, we can say that Hobbes' depiction of human nature or state of nature, it is based on his understanding of human nature, and his understanding of human nature was largely influenced by the social conditions of his times. As Lusky says, every political thinker is child of his time. This you can write as your conclusion. So here they don't need to go and explain contract now, because they have just asked about comment on Hobbes' state of nature. So the logical connection, you told what is state of nature, you told why the state of nature, he's telling it is nasty, brutish, short. Then you are telling that why did he depict such a state of nature, because he was born during a period where there was Puritan revolution. That's it. If you write this much, it is more than enough in your answer. So the evaluator will be also able to get what, okay, this student has understood the concept very clearly. Understood. The difference between reading and writing is that when you have written your answer, the evaluator, you are not there next to the evaluator to come and give him justification what you have written. He is going to just give you marks based on what is there on your paper. And that is why many times you feel that you might have a feeling you have written well, but that is not being reflected in your mark sheet. The reason is that it's not for you who feel well. The person who reads your answer should feel connected. Because you are not giving marks to him, he is giving marks to you. You are a person who is pleading marks from him. So obviously he is going to give you that marks only if he is pleased with your answer. Because there is no way you are going to sit next to him and argue and say this is the point I made. So that's why I told writing is a skill. Reading is one thing, writing is a skill. And you have to write in such a way that no person should have any doubt when they read the answer, saying that they are not able to understand what this fellow is trying to say. So these were the two questions which were there in 2023. Tomorrow again we will take up two questions. Understood how to, and these were both straightforward, simple questions. Any person who has read well can easily answer these questions. So again we will continue with two questions tomorrow.
ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ.